Greetings from a very, very cold winter's day in central West New South Wales, Australia. Um, I'm not one to beat the Beatles drum. I grew up with them. I was their target audience. Um, I was a teenager. I turned 12, if you consider that the start of the teenage years, in 1963. So my teenage years had a Beatles albums, right up, and I got them all. Not at the time, some of them, some others later, because I couldn't afford albums as a teenager. I bought singles. Um, I gave up after the White Album. I don't like anything after that. There's good tracks on Abbey Road, but they were gone. They were finished. The magic was gone. But I'm waffling now. This Whoops, sorry about the glare. This is the 2009 Mono Revolver remaster, whatever you want to call it. I've got my original Mono in there, and it's been played a hell of a lot, let me tell you. Andrew at Parlogram Auctions is saying this is their greatest album. Now, I'm figuring it must be the anniversary of when it was released, because I know it came out in 66. This year, so I'm 75, so I bought my copy when I was 15. Had to wash a lot of windows to buy that, but I still have it. I only have two of their albums, originals. I got my original Australian Mono Pepper. I gave any other Beatles albums I had to my nephew a few years ago because he's a big Beatles fan. Like a lot of people in their 40s and 50s, people my age just that was just another band. I mean, I was a Stones guy, of course, but this album, I'm waffling, is whenever I play the Beatles, which is not very often, this is the one I always go to. I just, there are I love some of the tracks on Rubber Soul and Help. Really love them. The harmonising's so good on those two albums, on the good tracks. And this is the last album where they actually sound like the original Beatles, in that, to me, to my ears, in that the harmonies are still there, even though we knew at the time that whoever was singing the song wrote the song. So it's not like they were all, we didn't know those things, but they still sounded like a cohesive unit, and yet so different at the same time. I mean, the I've got the mono and the stereo Revolver CD remasters, because all in all, I prefer the mono. It's definitely, there are bits they both sound very similar, the mono and the stereo, but the mono has funny little bits in there that are just wacky that aren't in the stereo. The stereo is the more, I suppose you would say, acceptable to straight ears or something, but there's some really interesting things going on the mono here. Also, I recommend the mono mainly because I'm not a huge McCartney fan, but three of his, or two anyway, of my favourite songs of his are on here, Here, There and Everywhere, which is, and Eleanor Rigby, what can you say? The mono Eleanor Rigby, I have the 45 here as well, is far, far superior to the stereo. The stereo is a bit insipid, it's just not quite right, whereas the rest of the album in stereo is fine. It's different to the mono in parts, but it's still great. But Eleanor Rigby in stereo, I can hear it as soon as I play it. If I play the stereo CD, I just go, oh, it sounds a bit, just hasn't, something missing. So I can't really add much more to this. What can you say? Tomorrow Never Knows, last track, side 2. Man, that's still mind blowing today. 60 years later. What can I say? I never, ever, ever tire of this album. It's just, they were just getting into their really experimental phase. but still sounding like the Beatles. Anyway, that's 5 minutes and it's enough waffling. So yeah, I'm not jumping on the Beatle bandwagon, not by any um, stretch of the imagination, but I just love this album. Oh, also, I always think of the name Revolver. If you spell it backwards, it's Rev Lover, you know, or you take the R off the start of Revolver and you have Evolver. And that's what they were doing here. Anyway, catch you later.